we have Rawchaa, we have a lot of brothers over there that have established something there. You go war with those brothers and bring back Jacob to the Most High.
Right. Okay. But, Brother Ricard.
Yes, sir.
Right. Obviously, you believe in what you believe in, and well, I presume you act upon what you believe in, this, that, and the other. Yeah. But before the Torah, what did people believe in before that?
Well, before the Torah, brother, you had records. You have like the book of Jasher, which is the records of the upright ones. You understand? Mm. And you have to realize even the Torah itself was compiled by prior information.
Right.
Now, brothers and sisters, when they ask you that question, what was it before the Torah? What they are implying is that there's other information outside of the book that we should actually give an ear to. That's what they are implying, that there was other stuff before the Bible. Just because there was things before the Bible doesn't make it correct. Okay? But that's some of the trickery, the trick questions they try to trip people up with. Oh, there was many records and civilizations before, outside of the Torah. But check out how I answered him.
Okay.
And I would like you to know this. Just because there's older records before the Bible, that doesn't make those records correct. Other nations operated before Israel was a people, but they were evil.
So what makes you think the Torah is correct?
Let me emphasize what I'm saying.
If that's the case, then why do you think the Torah is correct?
Let me emphasize what I'm saying, and I'm going to let you in.
All right.
The Egyptians had high technology, high understanding. They had records before Israel was ever a nation, but they were totally evil. I will never seek to Egypt for my history.
Okay.
You understand? Because I'm not an Egyptian. I'm a Hebrew. I'm an Israelite. So just because something came before the Bible doesn't make it right. And that's
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all.
That's the ignorance of our people.
No.
We cleave to anything black and think it was us or it was right because it was black. Well, guess what? If it was right, we wouldn't be downtrodden right now as a people, destitute and looking for answers. It wasn't right. That's why we fell.
Well, you know what? Every nation rises and every nation falls. So there's a time and place for everything. So whatever we've done wrong. Whatever way you look at it. So whether it's to do with God or
you just made a statement. Every nation fell, right?
Every nation rises and every nation falls.
When did the white man fall?
Well, his time will come.
No, I'm asking you.
When I'm saying to what I'm saying to his time will come.
No, listen. See, I'm asking a question facetiously because we don't know that we make statements strictly because we used to saying things repetitive without even examining it. Every nation didn't fall, brother. The Roman Empire is still in charge.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I accept that. It's just changed its course.
Yeah, so every nation didn't fall. Esau is ruling.
Right, so, but wait a minute, right? I thought the story is that, well...
Boy, our people just don't want to accept the truth. I mean, what's so hard? What's so hard for our people to receive that they're the chosen people of God? Oh, only our people struggle against greatness.
This is like you say, a familiar saying, right? Obviously, what you said earlier on about nations, people just believing in anything and anything doesn't make it actually true at all. But there are people who say, historians who say that we actually rule the world. So if we actually ruled the world at one point, how can we fail?
Hey, brother, we fell. I'm going to show you why we fell. You have a Bible in front of you?
No, don't.
Okay. This is what we had to go through.
Well, we have some Bibles in the studio. Brother Rawchaa, I need you to grab Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter, so we can show this brother why Israel fell. Exodus.
You think any other people would fight against being called the chosen people of God? You think other people, if it was shown that they had great history that linked directly back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and with that is a promise to one day rule the world, do you think other nations would actually fight against that? Like Egypt, are you kidding me? You're going to uphold Egypt? When it was our people who made Egypt great, number one, and number two, Egypt haven't been the same since we left. It hasn't been the same there since our God took down the Egyptians. Hold up, I think I got one of my books around here. Matter of fact, right here. Where? Huh? See? This is from the papyrus papers of Egypt, a papyrus of the late Middle Kingdom that came directly out of the Brooklyn Museum. Okay, this is history. All right. And in the papyrus papers, there's events dovetailing, highlighting the plagues that hit the houses in Egypt is right in this book. With Egyptians who had boils on them. That's right, highlighting the same stories that we read about in Exodus. Every plague is written in the papyrus papers, which actually documents archaeological proof that the plagues in the Bible are true. The historians tried to flip time around and mess calendars up so that they can claim Israelites never existed in Egypt. That's right. And they did that knowing that one day we would come to the knowledge of the truth that we were the same people who were delivered out of Egypt. It's chronologized here in this book. That the plagues of Egypt that our God sent destroyed Egypt, and Egypt never been the same since then. But our people don't want to hold to that, right? We have to fight our people in order for them to understand or to see their own greatness. I had to almost go back and forth with Gocc and argue with Gocc to have him open up the Bible and read it. I'm like, no, dude, you're not going to allow me to get in a conversation with you without my book, without God's book. I'm not here to have no conversation with you. Without our book, we're nothing. It's the record that unites us all. And I took a stance when I'm like, listen, I don't care about this radio show. You're not going to have me have some foolish conversation like the rest of these guys up here who are going nowhere without direction on this on your radio station. Somebody got to bring some levity. Someone have to bring what? Records that we can all unite under. And the only book that does this is the Bible, because it have moral codes, moral, civil, dietary laws, how we should treat one another. It's all in the book. Even why we fell as a people, it's all there. And everyone talks about Jesus and Christ, but yet no one is reading the book and actually following the principles so that we can live righteously one amongst another. I broke it down and say, listen, nah. We must have a record that unites us all. And if it's not the Bible, then where is it?
Let's get it real quick. Deuteronomy 32.
Deuteronomy Israel or Egypt?
Deuteronomy chapter... What chapter, Elder?
Okay, I need you to get Deuteronomy.
Yeah.
32.
Yep.
And 21, because the brother asked specifically, why did we fall, right?
Okay.
Here's the answer. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 21. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
Brother, we fell because the God that's great, the greatest God of all, the God of the Hebrews, gave us laws, statutes, and commandments and made us special. And that's why we were rulers, brother, because our God was stronger than all other gods. But when we began to fall to the gods of the Gentiles, the Most High said, well, since you want to put up a no God and an idol for me and follow these heathens, I'm going to put up a foolish people over you. That's why we fell, brother. We fell by turning our back on our God. And that's why we as a people are saying, let's put down the Gentile gods. As long as we follow their religions, they have power over us. They're the reason we fell. Why should we follow anything they're giving us? So now we must break away from the Egyptian gods, the pagan gods, the Christian gods, the Roman gods, and go back to the God of Israel. Ahaya Ashar Ahaya is his name. And because there was no way, he sent a spirit that he created from the beginning, which was Yeshua or Christ, to come in the earth and show the way back to him. Christ was crucified as a sacrifice so that we could no longer sacrifice animals for sin, to pave a new way so that we can, as a people, can receive the covenant and the adoption of sons.
So now this is when I ask him to bring the truth that he believes will unite our people. Let me go straight there. And thank you, AC, for the timestamps.
The answer. Now it's time to put your hand to the plow and bring again Jacob to the Most High.
Yeah, but the difference is, right, if I don't believe in actually exactly what you're saying as to be the truth, it's your truth, but it's not necessarily my truth.
Well,
I may
brother,
agree in principle in a lot of things you are saying, though. But it doesn't.
This is one thing about truth, brother. There's no such thing as my truth or your truth.
Well, there is.
Now, listen to me.
Well, I'm listening.
Because, listen, because I put it out there earlier that if you have a way that's right, bring it. Truth transcends personal agenda.
I totally agree.
Okay, so you tell me, what is your truth?
You ask me personally what my truth is.
What can bring us together? What can bring us together as a people, and what should we follow?
Well, personally, I can't really answer that because it's so much problems. You know what I mean? Even half the problems I don't even understand myself, if I'm really being honest. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm willing to listen and learn, look, watch, and to witness. And if I think something which strikes a chord in me, I will follow it. That's all I can say about stuff like that, really and truly. Because at the end of the day, it's whether it resonates with you or not.
So I think you were the brother that was following Jehovah's Witnesses. Is that correct?
No, I'm not following no Jehovah's Witnesses at all, no.
Okay, well, what were you following before you called today?
I like to keep that to myself, personally.
Excuse me?
I would like to keep that to myself. Because the reason why I phoned that, because I was kind of curious as to what your solution was. Because
you were doing what with yourself?
I was saying to you, right, I would like to keep that to myself because the reason why I phoned is because obviously you're saying all this stuff here, do you know what I mean? But there doesn't seem to be like a solution except for follow what you're saying. If I don't necessarily agree with it, but I may agree with a lot of stuff you're saying fundamentally, right, in terms of, what's going on politically, but religiously, I may not necessarily agree with you. I might have a different faith to you. So that's going to create conflict within itself, according to you. Well, not to me.
Okay, listen, I have a better question for you.
Go on.
Is when it comes to the solution you asked me for, right?
Yeah, I was curious as to what your solution was. I'm not saying it's the only solution. I'm curious as to how you can remedy the situation.
Well, this is what I'm asking you, brother. Is there anything based on what I've said so far that can be disputed?
No, not necessarily, no.
Okay, so let's make this clear. It's something that can't be disputed, but you're not sure if it's the truth.
From some of the stuff you said, as like I said to you before, right, from what you've said in the last 20 minutes or so, right? I believe it to be true based upon stuff I've read, information that I've acquired. But anything further than that, I can't say.
Only a few more. Now, also on this particular broadcast,